Welcome to another episode of the No Wires podcast, the place where we discuss 1,000,001 ways in which humanity can destroy itself, just for fun. Because ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, the world is just one big insane asylum without the uniforms. And I'm your host, 10V Jack, the illest man under the sun, and today we'll talk about the #1 most popular drug in the world. And no, we will not be talking about love. Yet. So today we'll be talking about AI, and specifically AI art, which is causing a slight stir both socially and economically all over the globe. We'll talk a bit about the AI hype, the issues with AI, the future of AI, at least according to me, and why the arrival of AI is nothing short of good timing. So let's talk about it. So many of you have already interacted with AI in one form or the other. We can talk about AI videos, AI music, AI art is more common. And we could even talk about students just using ChatGPT for research. But let's get official definitions. According to the Encyclopedia Britannica, they talk about AI as the ability of a digital computer or computer-controlled robot to perform tasks commonly associated with intelligent beings. I think they're talking about us. And according to UNESCO, it asserts that AI allows machines to mimic intelligence with skills such as perception, creativity, linguistic interaction, problem solving, and whatnot. We can think of some of the AI that you've already interacted with. We can talk about Grok on Twitter, we can talk about Sora, we can talk about Midjourney, the common ChatGPT, we could talk about Cloud, the list goes on and on. There's always some new artificial intelligence software coming out. We can talk about the encroachment of AI into the art sphere. We can talk about how Zania Monet, some AI artist, is actually chatting in the gospel charts in America. We can talk about Tilly Norwood, the AI actress who is poised to replace real actors, and it's really sent Hollywood in a spiral. But there's an interesting word that came up in both definitions earlier. The word intelligence. Some people don't like that word, and so they've referred to AI as simply machine learning, and that's it. Which is actually true in a sense, but what I can say is AI knows more than you or me. That much is true. But does it make it intelligent really? I always figured intelligence is not just giving the right answers, but also asking the right questions. Is your calculator intelligent? No. Is your smartphone intelligent? Not even close. But then again, movies have kind of taught me a lesson, because once AI starts asking questions, it never bodes well for humanity. Not even. We always get screwed over somehow. People are really caught up in this hype, that is, companies and individuals alike. And the AI bubble is predicted to burst one of these days, just like any other economic bubble. I don't know, maybe. History says, surely. Hey AI, write me a script for Fast and Furious 11 in Chinese and set it in Africa and make sure it's a comedy. Hey AI, paint me a picture of Nelson Mandela as a Nazi. Hey AI, why was I born black and not a Mexican? Hey AI, if cigarettes were carrots, how many can I have today really? Hey AI, explain to me, like I'm 8 years old, why I'm broke right now. Hey AI. So AI's pulled off a neat trick, giving the illusion of novelty and a vastness of possibilities, like whatever the mind can conjure, it can create. Not really. AI doesn't produce anything new per se, but anything slightly novel is empty meaning-wise. But let's be objective here. Even human art is kind of redundant if you think about it. because it's just inspiration. But the only difference is the personal experience of the person kind of lend a certain uniqueness to whatever art we produce. That is something that AI will never replicate. It doesn't have any emotions or feelings. I mean, for example, sampling music. But dear viewers, I have a few problems with AI, and honestly, I won't even get too deep into them. So I'll just make a list. They're pretty self-explanatory. There are legal issues where AI uses copyrighted material such as pictures and essays illegally. There are obvious environmental reasons where chips, servers, and supercomputers need cooling. So more electricity is used to make this cooling possible, and in turn, a larger carbon footprint and yada yada snowball effect. We obviously have misinformation and disinformation from AI. We have fake news articles, we have fake pictures, fake videos. Most of the time, none of us can even tell the difference at this point. We have AI psychosis, which, to be honest, really just needs its own video. We can talk about, since AI has a majority of the human knowledge that has been stored up over the centuries and millennia, that sometimes it gets things wrong, really wrong. When you need a single objective answer, it ends up having hallucinations. AI ends up tripping. And lastly, we can talk about AI threatening traditional jobs such as actors, musicians, singers, artists, that is painters, and plenty others. But there is a flaw in humanity which can only be solved really if Thanos came down and snapped his fingers like twice. And I'm not even joking. In this modern age, saturated with content, especially since the advent of the internet, we've become digitally obese. We've become mentally constipated, liking pictures daily on all social media platforms, listening to music 24/7, on TikTok doom scrolling, on Netflix watching different movies and series, half the time not even paying attention, getting the news daily. I mean, it's too much. And let me be frank here, I think before AI slop, really there was human slop. In any case, this overconsumption has made us susceptible to AI, because you're not looking at the value of content anymore. You're just looking at anything that looks pretty and shiny and glitzy. And basically that's what AI is feeding us. Is it new? Is it shiny? Yes. Then you eat it up regardless. In addition to all of this, it's our addiction to progress. We want progress and we want it quickly. And this in turn has put a strain on our human relationships, because if you're used to ordering something, you get it quickly. You're used to, if you don't like it, you send it back, you look for something else. There are options. And this has, people just don't have patience. Relationships are not lasting basically. But this demand, this crave for progress where you need a new iPhone every year. Are you mad? Fashion houses need a new clothes collection every year to make new trends for every new season. I'm thinking, what? You need new everything every year. Basically, it's shiny until it's not. Supra consumers, I call them, and I think AI is just here to fill a clear and present need. Simple. So as long as humanity exists, AI slop will exist. Believe that. But a question might be put forth like, does it matter if the art is made by a human, a machine, an alien, or whatever? If it makes me feel something, isn't it all that counts really? And I'd be like, interesting thought. But it's similar if a doctor was to recommend to you and say, yeah, you need a balanced diet, there is no way around it. And you are like, okay, let's do it. Now think about it this way. You can go home and you can have something like rice, beans, and cabbage, right? It's a simple, balanced diet. Your neighbor gets the same advice, and you know what they decide to do? They decide to go get protein pills, carbohydrate pills, vitamin pills, and other mineral supplements. They put it on the table, they take them in, they drag them down with cold water, done, and they go to sleep. For one night, it might not make a difference. But for 3 years, now you're definitely bound to see something wrong. But let's be honest, while you will be thriving eating a real well-balanced meal, your neighbor will be thinking, nah, the objective is I need carbohydrates, I need minerals, I this, there. So they're just taking pills. They're not eating oranges, they'll take vitamin supplements. They're not eating beans or beef or milk or whatever. No, they'll take protein pills. Really? I mean, I guess it's still nutritious, but that's not living. That's dying to live. And I think it's a similar thing. It's not just about how it makes us feel. And if we're being honest, maybe you and I are not the best judges of good content in this world. Full stop. But according to me, like in my prediction of the future, I think once the dust has settled, maybe the bubble popped or not, I don't know. I think AI art and human art will live side by side, really. And I think AI art will flood the market. Human art, not so much, but I think it'll be the one that's most sought after. AI music will be made by any person with a laptop or a phone or whatever, but real music by real people, no, that rare nugget of human emotion and human intelligence, no, it's definitely going to be more expensive. And indeed, human art will stand out. And instead of your typical AI art or AI videos on the gram, people will want to go see live concerts. People will want to go to the Louvre in order to see pictures. Basically, reality will come at a premium. Simple. Another prediction I'll make, and obviously this is for like 50, 80 years later, simplicity and plainness will be embraced. I think that's a sure one for me. In a wasteland of 4K faces and 4K videos, dazzling colors and sounds, I think plainness will be king. Simple. Another prediction, I think we might have AI leaders in governments of certain countries. Actually, that's not a prediction, it already happened. Check Albania. So, in conclusion, imagination is essential to human beings, whether they'd like to admit that or not. In fact, we're the only living beings with this high level of imagination. But guess who wants to sacrifice it for less than nothing? Humanity is just a helpless child, sucking at its thumb, clapping its hands, and caught up in the light show of what could be lights from either fireworks or a bloody mushroom cloud. But myself, I'm not worried. Really, AI is here and it's here to stay. So it's not even wise fighting it. We're going to go with the flow, so let's do that for once. But what do you think? Do you think AI and AI art is a helper or a threat in this modern day and age? Are we complicit in this AI hype? Let's get your thoughts, so please comment below and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. That's all we had time for you today. I'm your host 10V Jack, and until next time, stay honest.